Hi, welcome to Aphasia Moments, a video podcast where we explore life with aphasia, a language disorder, and two communication disorders called apraxia of speech and dysarthria, and other communication challenges. I'm your host, Cheryl Tondro. I'm here to tell some of my journey. I hope that what I say inspires you, empowers you, gives you hope, and helps you feel less alone. Because I have these speech disorders, sometimes my speech can be hard to understand. I encourage you to use the closed captioning feature, CC, located right below this video. It might help you to understand me better. So let's dive into today's topic. Today is day 29 of my 33 days of reading a book and sharing the lessons that I'm learning about. And each day, the author talks about a virtue or characteristic that helps us move on to our very best life. And I've been taking these virtues and applying them to what I've learned about recovery from my stroke and how I was able to move forward to realize that I can still live the very best life I can, and I can still have passion and contribute to the world, even though I have to communicate a little bit differently than I did before. And I'm hoping that as you're reading, as you're hearing these videos, you reflect on the lessons you're learning about yourself and about the journey and how these virtues have helped us in our search to the be to be the very best people we can be. So today's virtue is enthusiasm. The book says of the virtue of enthusiasm leads us not to just love God and neighbor, but to vigorously seek out opportunities to do so. It reflects the state of a person's heart. Each day, choose a task that you have been avoiding or neglecting and attack it with new energy, with enthusiasm. I also found some other definitions. The enthusiasm is being full of spirit, having a positive attitude, and being excited about life. So, in our journey after stroke or whatever trauma that caused our communication challenges, I'm sure there have been so many times when we struggled and we really had to search really deep within ourselves in order to be enthused about what we had to do to recover and move on. I know that every day is not roses and easy. It's a hard journey to get back our physical strength, our emotional health, and to get, get back the language that we lost and the speech that is so hard and maybe continues to be hard. So we have to do whatever we can to lift ourselves up. And enthusiasm has been a part of my recovery, I think. Um, Trying to stay positive. I've talked about this before, that along the way, I had to go to mental health counseling. And through the counseling, I was able to go back to remember the strengths that I used before to get over challenges. And I was able to go back and see the skills I was able to use before and bring that back to the reality of, even though I was a little bit different with physical or speech, I'm still the same person. I have the same experiences. I can use the experiences from the past. And one of the things I was able to do is to thank the spirit of God every day when I woke up. And in the very beginning, things were hard, and I was able to have an intention for every day. At the beginning of the day, I would say, I will do this for me, and I will do this for another person. The thing didn't have to be a big thing, but it was something for me and one other person. So it was something for my recovery, and brought me out of myself and realized that I can do something other people. Um, I think enthusiasm is seeking opportunities. Sometimes we don't, we sit at home and think that opportunities just come. So we have to go outside of ourselves and be open to opportunities out there. One of the opportunities that I did take was with joining the aphasia groups at BU, and sought to meet with other people with aphasia, and that expanded to people with apraxia, and now people with dysarthria too, because I have that support group on Facebook. I think enthusiasm also has a component of looking forward to something. If we can't do something right now yet, if we are looking forward to doing that thing again, it gives us enthusiasm to do those hard things every day to work toward that goal. One of the examples was to be able to drive again. I had no idea what the test was like. I would have really appreciated that if someone would have told me what the test entailed, I could have prepared even better. But some of what I was doing in speech therapy actually helped me as I took the driving assessment. Doing enthusiasms is also trying to do something wholeheartedly and eagerly. And a long time ago, I heard this, and this really resonated with me, and found I found it helped me in my recovery, is to say, when I have to do something, when I there's a task that has to be done, and instead of saying, I have to do this, I have to do this, it's better to reframe it and say, I get to do this. I get to do this skill or this task. I'm here. I get to clean the toilet. I know that's funny, but if you say I get to or I want to, it reframes the task to something that you want to do, and you can do it eagerly and wholeheartedly. Every task is important. You have to remember that no task is unimportant. So when we are trying to recover, every task that we're given moves us to our goals. And it helps, it helped me to reframe that task into I want to or I get to. I also heard this a long time before my stroke that when you think about something, like you're going to do something, you think about it as the first time you ever do it. If you think about something that you really loved and you think about the first time you did it, how excited you were. And that brings enthusiasm to the task again. If you remember how it felt to do that skill or task before. Also, on the reverse, if this is the last time you would ever be able to do this task or event, how would you feel? And I try to think about that when I'm going to do something that's hard, like have um, have a event. So I I host certain holidays, and that was really hard after my stroke, especially with aphasia and apraxia, because I didn't want to talk. I don't really. It's hard to talk. It's still hard to talk. I remarked to my husband the other day, we were driving, and I said, "Is my speech getting worse?" Because I read about primary progressive apraxia. And I said, "Is my speech getting worse?" And he said, "Well, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad." And we talked about, well, it's hard for me to talk all the time. So sometimes I lose interest in enunciating all the time because it's hard. So I don't think my speech is getting worse in general, but I know that I get lazy because it's extremely hard to be on all the time. I don't know how you feel about that, but um, I think that comes into play as well. Um, I want to leave you with this, what I found on the internet, the benefits of enthusiasm. And there are many. We just talked about how enthusiasm gets you through the task you need to do to get through your recovery and move out forward to um, being having your best life. But enthusiasm improves mood, increases your compassion and empathy about the people, gives you better health, increases self-esteem, increases engagement, and increases innovation. I'm sure that you're thinking about how enthusiasm has helped you or will help you as you go forward. I really appreciate you being here for these 29 days. And I hope that all of our conversations remind you that there's, even with communication challenges, life can be full of meaning, connection, and joy. Remember, it's not about striving for perfection. None of us is perfect. Even before we had this trauma, we're not perfect. It's about finding what works for you, because we're all individual and have different needs. being patient with yourself, and celebrating progress and success, no matter how small it may seem. You are a unique, wonderful individual with so much more to offer the world still. If you find these episodes helpful, please consider liking, sharing, and definitely commenting. I would love to hear your thoughts and your experiences with the topics that I have talked about. This is a space where we can all learn from and support one another. Until next time, please take care, try to stay positive, and keep finding your own ways to navigate life with courage and humor. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to be able to see you again soon. Bye.